Hello everyone, and welcome back to Witcher Wednesdays. Now, before I actually start talking about anything at all, I want to warn you that there are potential spoilers ahead. I've got to a point in the game now where I feel like it's actually got to, spoiler point, as opposed to me just wandering about going, oh, look at all the pretty flowers. So, if you don't want any spoilers at all, if you haven't played the game yet, and want to be able to go in completely fresh, stop watching now. That's the warning I'm giving you. Now, that all aside, I'm going to start off talking about what I started doing, which was just finishing up some side quests and points of interest in White Orchard, because I just decided I want to kind of clear the initial starting map. It's not something I'll do for every location, but I wanted to do it for the first one. I did the scavenger hunt for the Viper School gear. No idea if I got it or not, because I'm still not fully aware of what I'm doing half the time, it seems. I did some other small bits and bobs for people and just went and explored a bit. It was nice to be able to do that. Whilst I was exploring, I obviously ran across lots of enemies, and I've been improving at the game a bit, been doing small dodges as well as the rolls and timing my attacks a bit better, getting kind of used to horse-mounted combat as well, which I find is even slower than Geralt is on his own, because he's quite slow for someone who's so agile. I also killed the first Noomwraith in the game, the Devil by the Well, and it was an interesting fight. There were parts I liked about it and parts I didn't. Whilst I was doing it, I knew what I needed to do all the time before the game would let me, but I couldn't work out how to do it, which made it a bit of a strange experience. Not a bad one, I'll point out, but not a good one so much either. There were parts I liked about it and parts I didn't. It was a mixed bag, really. Because I enjoyed the whole concept of it, but I was trying to kind of progress to the next part because I'd worked out what I needed to do, but the game was like, oh no, just bang your head against the wall until we tell you what you need to do and then you can do it. I was a bit annoyed by that, but it still worked out fairly well. And it's nice to have a dead Noomwraith, because I've got a Noomwraith's head now just attached to my horse, which is, normal. I had to choose between having the Griffin head or the Noomwraith head, though. I feel like I should have had both. That would have been nice. And I've actually got to the point where I've left White Orchard. And for the first time, I've seen Yennefer.
Excuses. You've not changed a bit.
Yen? How?
I received a report about a Witcher who'd appeared in White Orchard. I knew it was you, looking for me.
Yeah, I bumped into what's-her-face. She was just like, oh, here I am. And I was like, oh, that's the person who's in these games, and I should probably know about. But obviously I don't know much about, because this is my first proper Witcher game. I went to the main Nilfgaardian place where I was dragged along to, and I discovered something horrifying. Utterly horrifying. Nilfgaardians don't like beards.
What's wrong with my beard? Always thought it added to my dignity.
It does, yet it also detracts from your elegance. In Nilfgaard, we consider beards hard on the eyes, especially beards infested with lice.
I mean, yeah, it came as quite a shock to me too. I had no problem with the Nilfgaardians doing this whole war and killing innocent people and all of that stuff. All the conflict didn't matter to me. Soon as they shaved my beard off, I had a real problem with them. You do not shave my beard. No. I decide when I have a beard and when I don't have a beard. That's not something for other people to choose. That wound me up a bit. Joking aside though, I've started getting to a point where there's lots of lore and stuff that I'm obviously supposed to know from playing the other games or reading the books or all of that different stuff, but I have no idea about it. So at one point I was asked a bunch of questions whilst I was being shaved, and I just had no idea what I was answering. The questions confused me, the answers confused me, no idea what I actually did, or if I chose the right options or the wrong options, just kind of hit buttons randomly.
You then found shelter in charming Flotsam, and from there made your way to Virgo. My question is how?
I got out of Flotsam with Vernon Roach, commander of the Blue Stripes, and...
A murderer of non-humans. We know this gentleman well, Witcher. You forge interesting alliances.
It has made me think that it's probably about time that I start reading the bestiary entries that I've got, start kind of actually paying attention to the lore a bit more. Because right now I've been focusing much more on gameplay. I do focus mostly on the gameplay and how the game looks and feels, first of all, and then if I get on well with all of that, I'll worry about the lore. Otherwise, if I'm not enjoying the actual gaming experience, I don't care about the lore, I need to enjoy the game first. And I'm enjoying The Witcher 3, so it's about time that I actually start studying a bit more, reading through all the different laws and getting to grips with the whole world and what's going on, just so I'm not 3 steps behind everyone else in the conversation. That being said, this series obviously has been weekly so far. That may not continue, not only because I'll be studying lore and it might not be the most interesting thing, but just because of time. I had my last episode was talking about not having enough time. Yeah, this series might not be weekly anymore, just due to time constraints. I'm quite far behind today because I busted my back and couldn't get out of bed for a few hours this morning, which has set me back a video essentially. I don't know if I'll be able to stay up late to do that. Additionally, these past couple of weeks I've only been working like 3 or 4 days a week at work, which has been great because I've been able to focus more on creating content and getting myself a little bit ahead. And now next week I'm on 6 days, which means I have 1 day off. So there's a chance I might have to skip this next episode. I'm still going to try and get the next episode out, but at the same point, I'm not going to worry too much if I can't, just because I'll be very, very busy. And hopefully, as time goes forwards, I'll start getting a few less shifts at work. Because we've got new people, they should start doing more. Everyone needs to do more shifts with me. I don't need the money. I can get by with being poor. Just let me make videos, please, work. But yeah, we'll have to see how this series goes. Because I can afford to skip episodes, because it's not like this series boosts the channel much. But it's fun to do. So I'd like to get as many episodes out as I potentially can. That being said though, that's the end of this episode. A kind of brief one, rambled on a little bit, but not too much I hope. Thank you all for watching, do make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. Sarge out.